Josh Evans with the EDA. We're talking trade-in or resale. In prior videos, we discussed the Clean Air Act and its impacts on new equipment. We also discussed service and parts. In this video, we're talking about trade-in and resale of equipment. The running theme throughout this program is documentation protects your dealership and the customer. And this is especially true in situations where we are establishing or continuing a relationship through a trade-in or resale. The Clean Air Act's requirements prevent you from selling equipment that is not at manufacturer specifications. This is true regardless of your state or territory specific laws for disclosure. The EPA does not accept used equipment from this requirement. Because of this, it's recommended to inspect, restore, and remove any defeat devices or equipment parts affecting emissions prior to any resale. It is never permissible to sell equipment with knowledge that emissions are not at manufacturer's original specifications. If the engine is not in compliance, any sale of that machine can subject the dealership to liability under the Clean Air Act. In the event a piece of equipment is sold and later discovered to be tampered, the EPA will look to the dealer selling that equipment. The EPA will ask if the dealer had a, quote, reasonable basis, end quote, to conclude the equipment at the time of sale was in compliance with the OEM's original specifications. The EPA has stated, quote, the EPA will typically find that a person has a reasonable basis for conduct if that conduct is one, is solely for the maintenance, repair, rebuild, or replacement of an emission-related element or design, and two, restores that element of design to be identical in all emissions-related respects to the certified configuration, end quote. Certified configuration in our context can mean the original configuration. If the equipment is being resold, the dealer should document why it believes the equipment meets manufacturer specifications. Best practice would include documentation that the equipment was inspected to have no defeat devices or emissions issues. If those devices are uncovered, best practice would be to remove those devices or repair the equipment. While we've been discussing the resale in the context of the Clean Air Act, it's important to consider state-specific laws. For most secondary markets, the seller is selling the equipment as is, where is, with all faults. Please note, there are state-specific laws covering situations where one knowingly sells a product with defects. Certainly a purchaser could argue material defects would include violations of federal law. As dealers, we want to ensure the equipment that is taken in on a trade-in or offered for resale complies with emission standards. Doing this can avoid potential lawsuits and enforcement actions later. Documenting those service records and making those same records available to the purchaser is a best practice in finalizing that resale. In order to make that disclosure meaningful, documenting what your technicians did and why the action was taken is critical. Remember, the EPA stated it will not take enforcement action against dealers who offer to restore equipment to manufacturer specifications. While correcting illegal tampering may prevent EPA enforcement, you should consult with an attorney in your state or territory as to whether any state or territory requirements require disclosure of that information prior to resale. As part of your membership with the EDA, you have a right to a free hotline call with me. I'd be happy to discuss this further with you, the dealer.